What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1,
and we are back at it again, giving you answers to your questions. Because I was about to say 40 facts, but this is a question and answer video.
So welcome to the greater wow. So this is, like he said, this is a question and answer video where you guys leave the questions of whatever you guys want us to answer, and then we answer them for you. This time around, we have a special question from, who was it?
I think I could pull it up real quick.
And the point of this is, if you want to ask a question for next Monday, we answer these questions, or we put these videos out on Monday and Tuesday. Put question in front of the question so that we can scan through all the comments, and it's easier for us to pick out your question and answer it instead of like answering or reading off a suggestion or what have you.
Yeah. So our featured question comes by All Might. He says, question, do you guys have any Ork Tactics, for research purposes?
Yes, I'm an Ork player,
yeah,
so of course I have Ork Tactics.
Guy.
I talked about this a little bit in one of the episodes last week. I don't remember which one it was, but basically if you're an Ork player playing in the 7th edition at this time, the reality is it's going to be hard for you to win. The number one way for you to win, the best tactic for you to use as an Ork player is the Horde tactic, which is just fill the board with so many wounds that your opponent can't, take them out. Fill your boys up with 30 squads of 30 boys squads, right?
30-man squad.
There you go. Now I haven't picked up the Got School Thraka supplement, so I'm not too sure if there's any awesome what are they called? Formations or anything that might give you bonuses, but I guarantee you there are. I know there's the Green Tide formation, but I don't know if that's in the Got School Thraka Codex. Pick it up, and basically, I think that's the number one way to overcome pretty much any army, is just kill them with numbers. Too many wounds, by the end of the game, they're gonna be screwed. But again, that really depends on your game that you're playing. Because if you're playing kill points, yeah, you can have a bunch of units of boys, but they're going to be squishy, so they're going to be picking them off pretty simple. Another tactic for another type of Ork army is to focus on rockets. I talked about this before, so make sure to get some Death Copters with twin link rockets, infiltrate them, and keep them far enough away where they're not going to be in danger of getting hit, but they can hit like a big target, I guess. So like for instance, if you are playing against Tau, what's that one heavy hitter? The one...
Storm Surge?
Yeah, the Storm Surge. Get rid of the Storm Surge as quickly as you can. Another tactic you could use for the Death Copters is put some buzzsaws on them. Go in to whatever unit you feel your opponent has that has, high points, that once you could either tie up or you can get rid of it as soon as possible. So you go in there, you do that, and once you're in there, it really depends on what you see best. If you attack a shooty unit, for instance, like your commanders or what have you, it might be best for you to stay in close combat. That way your Death Copters don't run the risk of getting shot up, because they're going to be behind enemy lines. But then at the same time, if you can, go in there. Death Copters have the special hit and run rule, so you hit, and then you run back behind cover or what have you to block yourself from getting hit. And then what that does is the enemy's army focuses on those Death Copters, and then that allows you to bring up trucks full of, what are they called? Tank hunters?
Tank hunters.
Yeah, or tank busters.
Tank busters, there you go.
With rockets, because you need that strength 8 AP 3, and then they're gonna assist in shooting whatever they can. Of course, your trucks are gonna be bare bones, open top. Your orcs, it doesn't matter if you die, right? And then most of all, I said this before, but Mega Armor Knobs and the Mega Armor War Boss with the Lucky Stick, essential. Give them power claws so that they can tear through anything, and I guarantee you those guys are going to make it to the end. because they're beasts.
Yeah, they are pretty nasty.
Yep.
The only tip I can give for you orc players is one of the armies that I hate to go up against orc wise is a speed freak army. So if you load up like 10 biker knobs with heavy armor or a pain boy or whatever it is,
Yep.
cyborg armor, I think that's what it's called. They're fast, they hit hard, and they're a little difficult to deal with. So those are always scary.
The best thing to always do against, if you're playing any type of army, is make your opponent have multiple options, and hopefully they'll pick the wrong options, and then you can sweep in. What I mean by that is, if you're an orc player and you have your death copters out there, you have your bikes riding up, you have your tank hunters or tank busters in another truck somewhere else on the field, your opponent has to decide which one of those 3 threats he has to focus on first. Whichever one he focuses on, the other 2 will be there to hit next turn. And that goes with all the armies, really.
Yeah, so it's all about target priority and making your opponent choose the wrong option, basically.
Yeah. I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for asking that. Now let's go to more questions.
This one, go ahead.
Okay. D Mushroom Mummy says, question: if the Reaper from Mass Effect were to invade the 40K galaxy, would they overwhelm said galaxy or be destroyed? The Reaper seemed OP in Mass Effect. Did you ever play Mass Effect?
No, I never played it, but I always heard it was good.
Yeah, they seem very technologically advanced, so far superior than what is in Warhammer.
You're saying more than the Eldar and the Tau and all that?
Yeah, because they had this special thing where they can go into another galaxy or another universe, but they could do that at will. They didn't need... kind of like the warp. You know how we, or in 40K, you can go into the warp, but what might happen to you in the warp is who knows? Yeah. You might come back 10 years later, or you might come back yesterday. With the Reapers, I felt like they had more control over that, so I think they would be a really good threat. Would they win? Maybe. I need to finish Mass Effect 3. Next question.
John Redcorn. Is eating ass heresy? Damn, he's asking the real questions here. The Dark Elder women love it, but so do the women of the Imperium. I hear women of the Tau love it too, and he is a renowned galactic playboy who loves eating ass from brown and Asian to black and Caucasian, space hoes and Xenos.
So is it heresy? Yes. If it's anything outside of the human race, it's heresy.
Mm-hmm. Just be careful. Make sure there's no hair on that ass. See?
I didn't follow that.
Heresy? Hair,
ass. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I think I got it.
Okay. Next question comes from Mueller, Pottergeiter. I don't know. Are the Kroot psykers? Are they at an equivalent level like a human, perhaps, or could they have chosen to evolve away from it due to inherent dangers? No, Kroot aren't psykers.
No, I think it's also forbidden for them to eat psychic beings. So yeah. Kev C00. What would the galaxy look like if Chaos had won?
So we answered this in one of the what if Horus would have won the Heresy, and basically what was speculated by the conclave,
the Cabal.
The Cabal. There you go. What was speculated is that if Horus were to win, or Chaos were to win, Horus would fight all his generals because he felt what is it called?
Remorse. Yeah, regret.
And he would attack those generals. Another civil war would be created, but this time with the bad guys, the Chaos, and humanity would be wiped out. No more humanity means not enough psychic juice to sustain the Chaos Gods, and the Chaos Gods will eventually die. Probably killed by the what is it called? Conclave? No.
Cabal. Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I feel like it'd probably go along the same way. If Chaos does win, Chaos isn't as unified as they think they are. There's always going to be someone trying to be number one, and with all these little skirmishes, it'll just break down and devolve.
Yeah, could happen. Yeah. Next question comes from Jasmine Ross. Are there Space Marine chapters outside of the Imperium, like the borders of the Imperium? Yes. Mm-hmm. They are. There's a lot of Space Marine chapters that have been banished by the Inquisition for whatever reason, and then they get sent out on what is it, penitence?
Penitence.
Crusades. Yeah. So they go outside of the Imperium, causing havoc. One of the most famous ones is the something sharks. The Carcharodons.
Yeah, there you go.
The Carcharodons. So check out our 40 facts on the Carcharodons, and that explains that. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm. This next one is by Nick Bryant. How hard can a Space Marine punch without its armor on? Is it like Batfleck level?
Batfleck? Is that like Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck's Batman.
Okay.
So yeah, I've seen, Batman vs Superman, and yeah, Batman was pretty beast when he's like punching these guys. But think about it. So Batman's just a regular dude. He has none of these enhancements that a Space Marine has. So essentially, a Space Marine can hit really, really hard, much more than Batman. I'd say it's probably close to the level of Superman, maybe?
Yeah, I would agree. And the reason for that, too, is if you watch our initiation videos where we talk about the different
rituals and whatnot.
Or augmentations that happen to a Space Marine recruit, their bones actually get, like, super thick and, like, solid. So
just like another bone.
No, they get that removed. No, I'm just kidding. There's no evidence of that. But so the Space Marine punch would probably be like hitting somebody with a brick. Like, think about Arnold when he was at his prime, all steroid and juiced up, and then multiplied by 10, and then imagine that being with a hammer hitting you. Then that's what.
Yeah, it's you're gonna get messed up.
Yeah. Next one comes from Brandon Harden. Is the Emperor as powerful or more powerful than any Chaos God? Is he more powerful than several or even all of them?
Well, first of all, the Emperor isn't a god. Yeah. Or at least that's what he wants us to think. Because he was, back in the Crusade, he was all against being referred to as like a religious figure, a god or god emperor. Mm-hmm. So he's just a regular man.
Against the Chaos Gods. So the gods would win.
Yeah. Even if he is a god, I don't think he'd be stronger. I feel like all the Chaos Gods and all the gods in general are probably around the same power level. At least that's what would make sense to me. So. Dragon Punch 903. Have you guys heard that the Eldar are going to be name changed to the Eldari?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard about this a few days ago. So there's rumors. Well, I guess there's not rumors. GW put out a video saying, there's big things coming to the Eldari, but they were speaking of them as if they were the Eldar. So basically, there's going to be a name change, kind of like the Imperial Guard got switched to the Astra Militarum.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that.
What other race or what other IP has Eldar or uses Eldar?
Isn't it like Lord of the Rings? There's like...
Oh, they say Eldar?
I think so.
Oh.
Or like The Hobbit or something like that.
That sucks. That really sucks.
And also, and that's not just the Eldar, I think the Dark Eldar too.
I still think people are going to call them Eldar though, because even with the Imperial Guard, there are people that call them, what is it called, Adeptus Militant? No. Well, whatever it is.
I just said it, shit. Astra Militarum.
Yeah, nobody calls them Astra Militarum.
Yeah. We always refer to them as Imperial Guard.
Yeah, so that's a bummer. Next question comes from Fruit Loops. What does the Imperial cult think about the Primarchs?
So I guess since the Imperial creed is that the Emperor's a god and all that.
I think like they would not be for the Primarchs. I think the Imperial cult was created after the Primarchs were all gone. So in reality, if like they're a pretty strong organization, and then if the Primarchs came back, people would be like, or the Inquisition, or the what is it called, the cult would be like, kind of fighting them in a way.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna lose power. Because before they looked at the church or the cult for their guidance, now they're gonna look at the Primarch. Whenever you have a switch in figureheads, there's gonna be like lash, or what is it called? Backlash. Yep.
Backwash. This one's by Turk. He asks, is it Gersh1 or Gersh1?
It's Gersh, Gursh, space 1, ONE. Thank you. Dark Lightning. We all know the two Chaos Gods saved two of the Eldar gods. But did Tzeentch help the Laughing God escape Slaanesh? Why would Tzeentch help? Well, they do share aspects of each other. I don't think that Tzeentch helped Slaanesh escape. There's nothing in the lore that I've read that says that. From what I've read, the Laughing God escaped Slaanesh because he's just tricky. He's just a G. He's like the Loki figure of that pantheon. And then if it did, for whatever reason, if like GW would to say that Tzeentch did help him, it would make sense because Tzeentch is like the web of like
lies and deceit, these tricks.
And that god knows of the future, past and present, so, well, they all do, but Tzeentch likes to plot.
Yeah, so if he did save him, it's for a plan that's gonna go into fruition, thousands of years from now. This one's from Daniel Scaife. Do you guys think Warhammer 40k will ever release games on consoles? They have.
Yeah, Space
Marine, Fire Warrior.
Yeah.
Deathwatch is gonna be on console.
Deathwatch, yeah.
But I don't know why, but it's all mostly PC games.
Yeah.
Like the Dawn of War series.
Well, the good ones have been on the PC. I didn't play Space Marine, but I think it was just like your stereotypical like shoot 'em up.
It was basically it felt kind of like God of War, just in the 40k universe.
With guns, yeah.
Yeah, with guns and plasma stuff. I mean, it's a good game. Like, it's just not a great game, in my opinion, at least.
Your turn or my turn?
Go for it.
One Mind, One Universe asks, do you think that the Dark Angels will ever find redemption and finally make all fallen brothers repent? Love the video, guys. Keep it up. For the Emperor! Thank you, man. I don't know too much of the Dark Angels lore, but from what I can gather, I think not. I don't think they'll ever like fully repent. I think it would just be a constant like like they'll constantly be like sorry for themselves.
No, they're gonna like go all goth and like sulk in their rooms.
Yeah, eyeliner and all that shit.
Listening to Green Day.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance. Mm-hmm. What's another? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, because I feel if they do ever repent, like it would have to be like a whole new they're kind of like a new like they're gonna like brandish to get rid of their old name and come with a new one or something like that, and I don't like that. I feel like they should just stay to what they are, and that is Marines who are looking for salvation, so to speak.
Right. Next question.
Commander General, what happens when a Chaos God is bored? Do they just wage war or torment their servants?
Yeah, they'll probably torment their servants. Well,
it depends, I think.
Yeah.
Because if it's Nurgle is usually not bored because he's always making like diseases and stuff. Obviously, Khorne, if he's bored, he's just gonna fight. Tzeentch, he's always making plans, so there's no boredom in that. Because if not, he'll just like, oh, let's get this started. Let's put this in motion. And Slaanesh, you're never bored when there's always orgies to attend. So,
asses to eat.
That's right. Grab your spoons, guys.
Next question comes from Luke Kelly. How do you think the Primarchs will come back in the end times? I think they'll just show up. Just be like, I'm here. There's a battle raging, and out of nowhere, Leman Russ comes in with his. He had a hammer, right?
He had an axe and a sword.
Oh, okay. So he'll come in with his axe and like chop the head off of Abaddon, and then be like, bitch. And then Vulcan will come in with like lava raining from the sky, burning heretics left and right. I think that's how they'll come in.
It's pretty cool. I just imagine they'd come in like superhero landing style.
And then like how would Robo Gilliman come in?
They'd have to roll him in his stasis field.
And then somebody will kiss him and he'll wake up.
That's right. He's our sleeping beauty.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, so this one's for Gersh by Guillaume Reicher. How powerful are Gretchin in the black market? And is it possible for a Gretchin to manipulate an orc and be like the power behind the throne style of Gretchin?
Yeah, definitely. There's been lore, for their second question. So there's been lore of Gretchin taking control of an entire, like, WoW. So they're like the masterminds behind pushing the buttons of the orcs and pushing them into fighting. There's also a regiment of Gretchin who are like big, huge, I forget what they're called. But they're like bigger. They're bigger Gretchin that are more aggressive, and they have their own little army. And then as far as like selling them, I don't think a Gretchin is something you would want to buy, because Gretchin are aggressive like orcs, and they're just like an orc. They constantly need like fighting, stealing, stuff like that. So they're gonna hurt you. It's like adopting a wild.
Like Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, Tasmanian devil. Like, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna wake up one day and it's gonna bite your neck, blood gushing out, and then it's gonna paint your body blue for good luck. I don't know.
I don't know why, but when you were talking about those like swole Gretchin, I just pictured Stewie from Family Guy when he took the steroids.
Yeah, basically that's what it would be like. Next question comes from Beast Thrace. How many heretics can a Black Templar blame if a Black Templar cannot stop blaming? Furthermore, how many failures can Phaelodon partake in if Phaelodon always fails, except for one time? Those are all trick questions, because a woodchuck doesn't chuck wood. And those were the questions for this week. Thank you guys so much for sending those questions our way. Please comment down below and give us more questions. And if you can, please jump on over to Patreon, where we give you an exclusive for the Greater WoW. And in return, you help us give you more videos with $1 a day, or $1 a month.
$1 a month, that's right. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for these questions. Thank you guys for subscribing. We are almost to 50K, and that means giveaway. But for now, this is all we have for you. Thanks again. As always, I'm the Sound Alchemist,
Gersh1,
the Window, and we are out of here.